Good morning, class. As on Saturday, we have done the revision of Chapter 8, that is the Wise Men of Ramnagar. We have done the revision of word meanings and answer the following questions. Now, today, we are going to continue with the revision of that same chapter. Today, we are going to do the revision of true and false and answer the questions about these lines from the story. In these true and false, we have been given a sentence. Okay, you have to write, first of all you have to write true of whether it is true or whether it is false, or if the statement is false you have to correct it and change it into true sentence. That means you have to correct the false statements and change it into the true sentence. After that, we have been given a line from which I have given you 3 questions. You have to read that line and answer the questions about that line from the story. You have to answer it from that line only. Now let us begin with revision 4 of chapter 8, the Wise Men of Ramnagar, in our notebooks. Now today we are going to start with the revision 4. Now before starting the revision, first of all you have to fill the index. Now, in the index, first of all put the serial number, put today's date, that is 21/12/20. Revision 4, this is also from the same chapter, this chapter 8, the Wise Men of Ramnagar. Count the number of page and write it here. Now after completing the index, come to the fresh page. Now put today's date, classwork, revision 4, chapter 8, the Wise Men of Ramnagar. After writing all this, you write all this using black pen only. After writing this, now let us come to the, as I have already told you, that today I am going to take the revision of true and false and answer the questions about this line from the story. Now first of all put the heading. Some of the following sentences are true and some are false. Copy the true sentences in your notebook. Can you make the false sentences into true sentences? This heading means that you have to tell that whether these sentences are true or whether they are false. If they are false, you have to copy the same sentences. If they are true, you have to copy the same sentence, and if they are false you have to correct them first of all and then change the sentence and write it on the other line. Now the first sentence is, the chief clerk said the villagers were dangerous. In front of it you have to write it whether it is true or false, or if it is false, or if the sentence is false you have to correct the sentence and write it below the sentence. Second sentence is, the tree was 2 meters tall. You have to write whether it is true or false, or if it is false. If it is false you have to correct it. Same in all the sentences you have to do. Second sentence is, the people of Ramnagar were mad. You have to tell here whether it is true or whether it is false, or if it is false you have to again correct it in the line below. By the side of the ant hill was a long line of men. You have to tell whether this sentence is true or false, and after writing true or false you have to again correct it if it is false, or if it is true you have to copy the same sentence. Fifth sentence is, the men were cutting the tree with pen knives. You have to tell whether this sentence is true or false, and if it is false you have to correct it. Now in this exercise you have to write true and false and using black pen, and the false sentences which you are going to correct it into true sentences, you have to write those sentences using black pen only. Don't use blue pen over here. Now, let us move to second exercise. Second one is answer the questions about these lines from the story. This is the line which is being given here over here. The villagers was very angry. The villagers were very angry. They sat in the meeting for 3 whole days. At last they thought of a plan. When the villagers heard that the road which was going to be built is going to pass through their village, and many of their crops would be destroyed when that road is going to pass, they called a meeting and they sat in the meeting for whole 3 days. And at last they have a plan to how they can stop the city men from making that, townsfolk people from making that road which will pass from their village. They thought of the plan that taking out water from the river using cup. They planned to cut the tree with penknives, and they all each and every woman was carrying a single ant in her basket. They are using all these plans so that they would think that they are stupid people, but they were very clever because they don't want the road to pass through their village. I hope you all remember this line. Now let us move to question A. What was their plan? First of all, in this question you have to write about their plan. B1 is, did their plan work? In this you have to write, did their plan worked or not worked? C1 is, why were the villagers angry? Why were they very angry? After writing question A, you have to write an answer of this question, and after writing the answer, make a small line and write question B. After writing question B, again you have to write the answer, and after writing the answer, make a small line and write question C. After writing question C, write the answer of it, and finally make a big line which will be the ending line of this revision 4. And let us again go through the revision. First exercise is, some of the following sentences are true and some are false. Copy the true sentences into your notebook. Can you make the false sentences into true sentences? First one is, the chief clerk said the villagers were dangerous. Write true or false. Second one is, the tree was 2 meters tall. Again write the true or false. Third one is, the people of Ramnagar were mad. Fourth one is, by the side of the ant hill was a long line of men. Fifth one is, the men were cutting the tree with penknives. After writing this, make a line and move to question second. Answer the question about these lines from the story. The villagers were very angry. They sat in the meeting for 3 whole days. At last, they thought of a plan. Question A is, what was their plan? B1 is, did their plan work? C1 is, why were the villagers angry? After writing all these questions with the answers, form a line at the end of the revision 4. Now, homework for you all is for tomorrow, you have to revise Chapter 9, Beauty and the Beast. Hard word meanings of it and answer the following questions. You have to only revise 2 things of it. First one is the word meaning and answer the following questions from Beauty and the Beast part 1. Thank you.